Hello, I'm Emma Hammett from First Aid for Pets. Today I'm going to answer the question, can I have a pet if I have asthma? It's a tricky one. There are many people that find that being around pets, certain pets, makes their asthma considerably worse and can provide quite a nasty trigger for their asthma attacks. If that is you, then you have to think very carefully if you want to have a pet, as to what pet you might be able to have and what is triggering your asthma. So the issue with the allergic asthma when it's related to pets is it's not usually the fur in the pets, but it's proteins in flakes of animal skin. It's known as dander. It can also occur in their saliva, their urine, or fine particles from birds' feathers. And that's known to be a very strong trigger for asthma for some people. It may not even be the pet itself that's triggering the worst of your asthma attack. It may be their cage, their tank, their bedding, their food, their toys, or the cleaning products that you're using or that somebody's using when they're looking after their pet. It might be one of those. So it's important to work out what it is that is actually triggering your asthma attack. Key thing is, if you are near a pet and you can't avoid being near a pet, that you take antihistamine medication to dampen down your likelihood of being allergic to them. And also you are taking your brown steroid inhaler, which is again a dampening down of the likelihood of you experiencing an asthma attack. So it makes your airways less sensitive. It takes a long time to work and to build up the dampening down effect. So you have to be really vigilant about using your brown inhaler. Your blue inhaler you should have with you at all times. And that's your reliever inhaler that will ensure that if you're having an asthma attack, it dilates your airways and reduces some of that mucus as well. And that is really important to have with you at all times. And if you've been prescribed a spacer, then you should use your volumetric or your spacer at all times with your inhalers, because it makes the medication, or it helps the medication actually get to its target location much better. So the key is to find out what it is that you're actually allergic to, what type of pets are triggering. Choose a pet very carefully and talk to your asthma nurse to get some advice, because they will know what sort of triggers are likely to trigger your asthma. So talk to them and explain that you'd really like to have a pet and take their advice, and talk to the pet shop too. If you do decide to have a pet, it will be really important that you or someone who is non-allergic within your family is responsible for hoovering all your soft furnishings really regularly, and to make sure that any rugs or cushions or bedding are as clean from that dander as they possibly can be. Hard flooring will be better than carpet because it won't retain it as much. And make sure that your pet is regularly groomed, again by someone who is not allergic to them. Keep their hair that bit shorter as well, that is likely to help. And some pets are less prone to triggering allergic response than others. So cockapoos, for example, are meant to be a hypoallergenic dog. And there's various other breeds that are less likely to trigger asthma attacks. But again, it depends what it is that is triggering your attack. You need somebody else to be cleaning your pets. You need to make sure that they're bought into doing that too. And sometimes you can get air filters and pet vacuums that are meant to help to actually absorb some of that pet dander to make you less affected by it. I hope that's been useful. The key is to talk to your pet shop, talk to your asthma nurse, make sure that you are taking antihistamines and your preventer and your reliever inhalers when you need to keep your asthma as controlled as you possibly can. And ask your pet shop for other animal choices as well. I mean, fish are sometimes a good option. Other types of less furry animals can have less of that protein dander on them as well. So I hope that's been useful. That's Emma Hammett from First Aid for Pets.